Good afternoon, Wealth Our Way Nation. What is going on? It is your man, Charles Tank Harris, the founder and chief visionary officer of the financial literacy platform, Wealth Our Way, where our motto is wealth is not only for the wealthy. Welcome to episode 35, premium or economy on Turo. Which way is going to work for you? I want to say thank you to each and every one of you who are live with me as I stream across the Wealth Our Way Facebook and YouTube pages. I also want to give a special shout out and salute to Wealth Our Way Nation that watches this program pre-recorded overnight, over the weekends, or wherever they can squeeze in 15 minutes of literacy. And last but not least, a heartfelt hello and how are you to the good people on the Life 101 platform who listen to the audio of this program. I hope you guys are ready for me to get into this Turo situation today. We talked about it yesterday. I told you what Turo is. I hope that you guys, as I explained to you, Wealth Our Way is a collaborative effort. The whole process of bringing financial literacy and monetary excellence to the masses requires work on your part. I am not one of these charlatans out here telling you how to get rich quick tomorrow. Give me $17,000 and I'll get you right. That's not who I am. My track record proves it. You can go back and watch a year of programs just like this, where I come on here and help you help yourself. With that being said, this month of additional streams of income, starting with this week of Turo, is just an appetizer to your entire meal of how to get Turo in your life if you decide to go that way. And yes, shook the headache. Thank you very, very much. Mama came home, gave me some bear, got some sleep. Everything is love today. My eyes do not feel like they're bulging out of my head today. So I'm ready for war today. The thing about Turo that I like is the way I'm going to use it. And I tell a lot of stories and anecdotal ways that I get down on this program because I hope that it resonates with my audience and helps you guys get ideas. Immediately upon researching Turo, I shared this with you. I called my children up. So my younger 4 children still live with their mom, and they live in the Atlanta area, and I live in the New York area. So I'm heading down here next week to take the younger 2 back to school. I saw an opportunity for a family business. This is the way my mind works. And if nothing else, what I'm trying to do by having you guys be with me as much as we're together, I'm trying to instill upon you some habits that I have created for myself. There's a lot of areas where I could make better habits, but when it comes to money, I immediately think of ways to maximize my net worth. Everything I think about gets focused upon how can this help me financially. When I researched Turo, I saw some things about Turo that I am never going to want to do as Charles Tank Harris. However, it's very expensive to have 6 kids, but it does come back to help you sometimes. I got a little army of workers. We're experiencing a worker shortage around the country. There seems to be a shortage of everything. I went in the store the other day and there's a coin shortage. There's a worker shortage. There's a parts shortage. This is where it's good to be abundant. I got abundancy when it comes to these children. I got 6 kids and 4 stepkids. I can put cats to work. So I called, as I shared with you, my 20-year-old. I am having a Zoom meeting, 7:00 Thursday night for my 4 youngest kids to discuss the new family business, which is going to be Turo. I have some money. I'm going to push some cars. My investment will be the cash to get the cars. The older 2 kids have driver's licenses. They will check in and out cars. The younger 2 will do administrative and car washing duties. My mind is already percolating, and I want your mind to percolate too. The one thing that has changed as I've watched it change over the last 25 years is that this internet, this exposure to connectivity across the world has allowed for peer-to-peer business in a way that didn't exist 25 years ago. When you wanted to sell a record, you had to go to Warner Brothers and get your A&R person to say you deserve to be signed to this label, then put your albums across the country in Tower Records and other places. Now you just strum your guitar on YouTube, and if people like it, they click on and you can make money. It's the same way with these other endeavors. You have a chance to be in business for yourself today. I'm going to show you a few ways to do it this month, starting with Turo. But the first thing you need to do, and I preach this over and over again on this program, open your mind up. Believe that this can actually happen for you. The number one killjoy is going to be skepticism. The number one killjoy is going to be, I can't do that. Big Tank got a couple dollars. He can go out and get a car and put it on Turo. I can't do that. BS. You can do what I'm going to show you how to do. Today's episode, as I said, I've been researching this to give you guys information. And what I saw are two distinctly different ways to do Turo. One of my boys called me up. He just went out and bought a Tesla, a Porsche, and I think an Escalade. Now, what's that mean? That means he got money or access to credit to go out and buy these brand new vehicles. And he's putting them all out in Miami on Turo. That is what I would call the premium way to do Turo. Then, as I'm going to share with you tomorrow, when I start to give you some social media presence influencers who are doing Turo way, way bigger than Tank is, because I'm just starting out, I'm going to give you some resources. I found a young lady, I won't give you her name today, I'll give it to you tomorrow, who's doing the more economic way to do Turo. That resonated with me. I'm going to do the economic way, but I want to share with you guys today both options. So I'll start with explaining what I mean when I say the premium way to do Turo, the economy way to do Turo. The premium way to do Turo is, of course, what premium means. You're going to go to the high end. You're going to put newer, more high-end vehicles in your Turo fleet. Why would you do that? Well, the obvious reason is you can charge higher rents. I know as a business traveler, when I go to Hertz or Enterprise, I can get a Nissan Altima for $39, $41 a day or whatever. But if I want the Benz or the Hummer, it's from their vintage collection, and the fee is 3, 4, 5 times that. Turo works the exact same way. If you want to put a Cadillac Escalade ESV in your fleet, you can charge a much higher rate than if you're putting a 5-year-old Toyota Prius in your fleet. The premium way of doing things has some pros and some cons. The economy way of doing things has some pros and some cons. I have written them down for you. These are Tank's pros and cons to doing the premium way to go Turo versus the economy way to do Turo. My eyes will go slightly to the side because I'm looking at my notes. So on the premium way of doing Turo, what are some of the pros? The pros are you can get higher rental fees. Another pro is you are able to use other people's money. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm pretty sure everybody doesn't have $80,000 laying around to run out and buy a brand new Escalade. And if you did, you might be a little foolish for tying that whole $80,000 up into a car that you're going to rent out for $130 a day. What you would do is you would go get a car note. You would borrow money. You can borrow it individually, like literally walk into a car dealership as Charles Harris, sign for a car, see if you get approved, and now you have a car note. I told you yesterday, my F-150 has a $730 car note. If I didn't need my truck and put it on Turo every day, I know I could make more than $730 a month and pay my car note with it. There's another way to borrow money, though, and that's more on a business side. So we've talked before on Wealth Our Way about setting up LLCs and S Corps and C Corps, and we'll take a deeper dive into that as well. But let's say you start your own LLC. I'm going to start a corporation to handle my Turo business. In that corporation, I'm going to go get commercial credit because I, as a person, have good personal credit. So I will allow that to be what secures my corporate credit for the early stages. And then I hope to grow to a point where I don't need to personally guarantee my corporate credit. I'll get 50, 100 grand with no problem. I've done it before. Then I will go buy my cars with that credit. More on that to follow. The other thing about the pros of using the premium side of Turo is you may want the car. As a person, you may want the car. So let's say, for instance, here's a very smart way to get a car. Forget Turo for a minute. You're going to use Turo as the method. Let's say you want to own a 2022 Mercedes S500, but you would never spend that much money on yourself. Put it on Turo. You get approved, you put it on Turo, you rent it out half the time, you drive it half the time. You keep it on Turo for 3 years, you pull it off altogether, and now that's your car that Turo helped you pay for. This is the exact same mindset that some people use with their real estate with Airbnbs. So you could have an exit strategy of taking the car that you've placed on Turo and using it yourself once you've let other people pay for it. The other pro is, this is very important, I'm finding as I'm doing my research, cars break down. Brand new cars break down, old cars break down. When you are renting to people, they tend to not treat the car as good as they would treat their own. If you are keeping newer cars on the Turo platform, they are consistently under warranty, and thus your repairs are not coming out of your pocket. Some of the cons, the carrying costs. Now that you have a car note that you're responsible for paying, if your car is not rented, that's money you better have in your reserves to pay out your own pocket, or you're going to be in the short. The other side of it, there's a higher chance of a negative experience. People will dog your brand new car. They will think, oh, okay, this is nice. I'm gonna go floss. Especially if you put a performance car out there, they're going to try and do 130 miles per hour in your Ford Mustang. The other thing is, in order to get approved for these cars, you must have access to credit, and some of you do not. So those are some of the pros and the cons of the premium side. The economy side, where Big Tank is going to live, here's some of the pros. Lower cost of entry. I could literally buy a car for $6,000 cash, put it on Turo, and make $6,000 off it in 9 months and have it completely paid for. I'll be in the black. Another one is, I'll have ownership of that asset. It's not leveraged and can be repossessed if things go wrong. It's mine. I paid cash for it. Also, I've normally let someone else take all the depreciation. If I'm buying an older model car, it's already depreciated. I'm going to get a lot of value out of that car. And then you have more pricing elasticity. What do I mean by that? You have more flexibility on how you can price your lower quality car, so to speak. If you have a Mercedes 700, a BMW 700 or a Mercedes S500, you don't have a lot of flexibility of where you need to price that to make your money back. But if you're putting on a 2012 Ford Escape, whether you charge $22 or $28 is completely up to you, and you can still turn a profit. You have a lot more elasticity in your pricing. What are some of the downsides to going on the economy side? One of them is lower rental fees. You're not going to be able to charge $100 a day, most likely, for your 2012 Ford Escape. Another one is, the older a car is, the more likely it is to need repairs. So now you're out of warranty, you got to pay for these repairs, and your car is out of service while it is being repaired. And one of the other ones on the economy side is, you're going to have more competition. I believe from the research that I've done on Turo thus far, that there are more people erring on the side of the economy side than there are on the premium side. So it's a more competitive space. But as we talked about yesterday, when you advertise these cars, you have the ability to separate and differentiate your car by the description or some add-ons that you choose to give. You may cover tolls. You may do various things that other people wouldn't do. When it comes to Turo, as we talked about yesterday, you are going to do the host insurance protection plan through Turo. And you have the 60, 70, what did I tell you guys yesterday? 60, 70, 80, and 90 plans, where whatever portion of the commission you're willing to give up to Turo as a company will determine which level of protection plan you take. So you do not have to insure the car on your own plan. You can insure the car through Turo's protection plan. Now, you also have the ability to be a commercial host and have your own insurance. That's a deeper dive for another day. So I hope that today's 15 minutes helped you understand the difference between going premium and going economy. I know I breezed through it kind of quick, but that is the beauty of this program. It is recorded. You can come back and listen, slow it down, rewind. And of course, tomorrow, ask me questions in the chat, and I'll be able to answer anything that you may have throughout the course of this week. So I thank you for tuning in. I look forward to talking to you guys about more Turo tomorrow. And remember our motto here at Wealth Our Way: wealth is not only for the wealthy. See you tomorrow.